Hi everyone, thanks for watching our video. I want to start this video with a tribute to our good friend, Hug Your People's attorney, and just an inspiration to us all, Mr. Ray Winters. He passed away with complications of COVID before this episode was aired, and we want to acknowledge him. He's been an attorney of mine for my real estate clients for a long time, and he was so gracious to offer his services to Hug Your People pro bono, and his whole team has been phenomenal through this whole thing, and we really send our prayers to his family, the people at Ray Winters Law Firm, and everyone in our community that knew him. Ray, we love you. You will be sorely missed, and we really appreciate everything you've done to get Hug Your People this far. Hey guys, welcome back to Hug Your People. I'm Kevin.
I'm Suzanne.
And we're going to talk about our second stop on the highway to hugs today. Stay tuned.
Was it make-believe, or was it a dream? I've been waiting all my life. Feels like I've struck a gold mine. With your hand in mine, our love came alive. We've still got the rest of our lives. The rest of our lives. The rest of our lives. Oh, the rest of our lives.
This was an exciting stop on the stay for Hug Your People for a lot of reasons. First of all, we stayed at Glocester.
Gloucester?
I
think that's it.
We stayed at Worcestershire Point. Gloucester?
Gloucester Point RV Resort.
we
That's
stayed
what I
at
heard the people say. I'm gonna
yeah, well, that's probably
Gloucestershire.
Gloucestershire. Yeah. So we're from the South, so those are a struggle. But yeah, that was probably one of the hardest parts was how to pronounce it. But it is Glocester Point, Virginia. It's outside of Virginia Beach. Beautiful community. And we learned a couple of really important lessons there individually, I think, but we kind of piggybacked, of course, you know, we talk a little bit. So you want me to share mine first? You want to go first?
No. Me first.
So my lesson was, all right, so let me share, I got to paint a little, give a little context. So we're driving from Raleigh, North Carolina to Glocester Point, Virginia. And so we get off the main roads and we're pulling into the campground, and the roads are rural, narrow, narrow. We drive a giant truck and giant camper, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. So my right tires were on the white line and my left tires were on the yellow line. That's how narrow these roads were. So I'm stressed out. We've been on the road for a few hours already, so it's the end of the trip. So I'm stressed out. I'm getting in a not happy mood, if you dads and husbands can relate at all on a road trip. You know, we've got a dog and Bax and Suze and me in the car. We're all kind of at that point of let's get out of the car. And now we're driving down these narrow roads. So I was not a big fan of that. And then we get to the RV park, and it had rained, and it wasn't their fault. And of course, I was going to hold it against them in that moment. And we get there, and it's muddy. And I had some words in my mind come up. Just I didn't choose them, and I'm not that kind of person, really. But if you know me, you know that's wrong. But they came up. So I'm a little upset that we're here, and this is where we've got to deal with. Most of that was road trip. So. We get the camper kind of set up. Suze takes Royce and Bax on a little walk to kind of get some energy out. I walk out of the camper. Our neighbor comes out and she says, "Can I take a picture of your camper? I'm almost in tears." And I said, "Well, of course." Had no idea what she was going to say. So she takes a picture of your camper, of our camper, and she says, my nephew, or someone like her nephew, had just been diagnosed with leukemia, like recently in the last few weeks. And she's sending pictures to her sister-in-law or her sister, or someone in her family, the child's mom, and she's sending pictures that say, you're not going to believe who just pulled up. Woo! You know, so all the frustration that I had of driving this camper in, getting in the mud and all the stuff that we deal with, we got there and I just immediately felt like this is where we're supposed to be. This is where we're supposed to be. And so that's kind of the title of this video, is everywhere we've been so far, I think, we've kind of felt like this is where we're supposed to be. So that was my big lesson. The next time, like even, you know, we shoot these in lag a little bit. So the next campground we get to that's not ideal, it's not, you know, perfect, I'm going to remind myself that this is where we're supposed to be. Someone's going to show up, something's going to happen that's going to make me feel like it was worth it, right? So that was my big takeaway. What was your big takeaway?
It's really cool to see the ripple effect when one mom posts in a Facebook group about how the wagons are helpful, and all of a sudden we get 8 wagon nominations. So that was really cool. On Friday the 13th, I actually got quite a bit of wagon nominations just from one mom saying, hey, these are helpful if it would help anybody else, and we can't wait to get those wagons to all those other cancer fighters.
I think that's important because we ask you guys to share a lot, and sometimes we feel bad for doing it. It's not our nature to do things like that, and something like that happens, and it reminds us that our job is to ask you to share with your people, right? And the reason for that is we don't know who it's going to land on that might send a wagon on. You know, one person shared one little compliment in a mom's group, and we had 8 kids who need wagons that we're sending wagons to. It's phenomenal.
And it's really cool because, you know, we are going state to state to deliver a wagon in person, but we're also still shipping wagons out. We are sending them to California, to New York, to Georgia, everywhere.
So we're not waiting for us to get to the kids. If a kid needs a wagon now, we're going to get them the wagon now, and then we're going to figure out a new kid once we get to their area. So there's no lag time. We're not going to say, save that until we get to California. No, we're sending it now, and then we'll connect with other people.
Truthfully, by the time we get there, there will be a lot more kids that are diagnosed with cancer that will need one.
Unfortunately, yeah. So that's what we're doing. I think our lessons combined gave us a new sense of purpose. I think, you know, me not being the angry dad driver, or not being the too persnickety about the quality of place we land. That know that we're going to land where the people need us. And I think coupled with Sue's, you know, she and I navigating the social media waters a little bit and asking for donations, asking for shares, asking for attention. And it's not attention for us, it's attention for Hug Your People, because another mom out there needs to know Suzanne, and another dad needs to know me, and their families need to see backs and know there's hope. You know, and so that's really important. It really is. So those are 2 big lessons from Glocester
Point.
We're going to do that this whole video.
With me beneath the stars, moonlight crashing on our wild hearts. With your head in mine, everything is fine. We've still got the rest of our lives. The rest of our lives.
So the wagon we gave away in Glocester Point was actually in Virginia Beach, which is nearby. Susan Bax got to go and meet Xavier and his family. How was the experience meeting Xavier? What'd you learn?
Well, I was able to connect with his mom on Instagram, and he is an 8-year-old boy diagnosed with a Wilms tumor. He's got an older brother, and so we were able to go and deliver a wagon over to him. He likes the New York Giants. He likes gaming. It was really easy to shop for him since he likes the same games as Bax. So we got him some Robux and some gift cards for some games. He's got an older brother, so we were able to get him some games too. And his mom was so sweet. We were able to meet his mom outside of the hospital. With COVID, it's a little bit different. We can't go up to the floor and deliver it in person like we used to. She had to come down, and we gave it to her in the front lobby, and she brought it up to him since he was inpatient for I think 5 days, but he was luckily able to leave the next day. But he's still got a long road ahead of him, and we're cheering him on, and we're right there with him.
Yeah, so say a little prayer for Xavier. Today it was a pleasure to be a part of his journey, even a small part. And I hope the wagon serves you, buddy.
Yeah,
keep fighting.
Also worth noting too, his mom was so sweet, and she donated towards another wagon right after that.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing.
How sweet is that?
That's the power of parents. You know, when you know, I remember us doing that quite a bit when we were in our battle as well. You know, parents see the usefulness of something or the generosity of someone, and they want to pay it forward a little bit. And so that only happens by documenting. That only happens by sharing. That only happens by doing things like this. We wish we didn't have to give any wagons away. Like, we wish no kid experienced this, right? And all we're doing is trying to make things maybe 1% better for a day, for the day, right? And so I think that's the importance of it, is that Xavier's mom felt so moved, she felt so compelled that she turned around and donated a wagon to another kid. I trust that's going to come back to her some way, somehow. I know it certainly has come back to us in our blessings. So we're pulling for you, Xavier. Keep going, buddy.
How beautiful that walk is. Mwah. I'm living that walk, Georgie. Georgie.
Bring out the conga, bring out the bass, bring out the L. I got the chase, I got the gold. All of my necklace and a smile, you can't erase. It's the window circle over here. We like to wild out and get weird. We like to put our hands in the sky, yeah, and show the world that we here. The way we living is so rare. But ask, do I care? Do I care? I'ma just do my thing, do my thing, do my thing. I'ma just live my life, live my life, live my life. I'ma do what I want, yeah that's right, yeah that's right. I'ma just do my thing, do my thing, do my thing.
All right, so that was our week in Glocester Point, Virginia, and if you've seen the video, you have. Our idea was to take Bax to Colonial Williamsburg because we both went there as kids. Love the place. Bax is 6. He's been a year fighting cancer, a year doing COVID stuff. So we opted for the water park instead.
Yeah, he doesn't know much about history yet.
Doesn't know much about history yet, and he's not really that interested in it, to be honest with you. You know, how people made butter in olden days. He doesn't really care, right? What he cares about, apparently, are water slide roller coasters.
Well, evidently all campgrounds seem to have a water slide.
Yeah, so he's super into that.
Yeah.
So we decided, actually it was decided for us really that we were going to take him to a water park instead of Colonial Williamsburg, and it worked out great. I think we had a good time. I think it was a load of fun. You know, it was something we had never experienced before. She and I hadn't been there. We learned a lot about ticket purchasing when we do things like that. We'll go into that later, moms and dads. But it was really a load of fun. We got to see some family in the area. Your cousin John took us fishing. You see the video of that. Captain John, thank you so much. Sarah and Jessica came out with us. We got to have dinner with them. It was just really great connecting with family in the area. My buddy Jeremy, who owns Commonwealth Brewery, was able to help us by receiving some shipments for us and picking that up, and just real pleasure to always be around the Biggie family. And so it was really a great time. What we really want to talk about now is what's coming up in September. What is September?
Childhood Cancer Awareness Month.
Childhood Cancer Awareness Month is in September. For the last 2 years, we've done a Hug Your People team for Alex's Lemonade Stand for their Million Mile event. And we've done that for 2 years, and we've raised a lot of money for them, and we love their organization and support them. This year, Susan and I were talking, and having an organization now of our own, we feel like we need to keep things in the Hug Your People house, so to speak, right? So we're going to do an event in September. There'll be more information coming out on that, but if you like moving your body, if you like raising money for pediatric cancer, if you like getting more tied into the Hug Your People community, if you want to see extra videos of just Suze talking about what Suze does, yes. No? Then you'll stay tuned for September. That's probably her biggest fear, y'all. But you'll stay tuned for our news in September. Is coming up on our Facebook page. Go to Facebook, Hug Your People. That's where you're going to find all that. Always check out Instagram as well. The YouTube channel, there are going to be weekly updates here of every stop that we do. Every stop's about a week. So we're going to have that going on for you. Just really to keep you in the loop of all these kids and all these people we're meeting. The people have been amazing so far. Amazing. I think everyone in the RV community phenomenal, helping us learn what we've learned, get as good as we've gotten, and hopefully get us better than we are. I think that's phenomenal. Every time someone says, hey, what's this all about? We have story after story after story of you guys, by sharing, by donating, by contributing, of making an impact in every place we stop. So please continue to do that. Don't stop doing that, because that's really what makes this work. So thank you for being here.
Thank you.
As we always say, hug your people. See you next time.
Bring out the bass, bring out the L. I got the chase, I got the gold. All of my necklace and a smile. You can't erase. Now it's the winner circle over here. We like to wild out and get weird. We like to put our hands in the sky. Yeah.
So the wagon we
Okay. How much time do I have to get myself together?
as long as you need.
Okay.
It'll record forever.
Okay. Okay. This is fine. This is why I don't do this. Okay.